Hi there, this is Paige, who is Stamp Girl here on YouTube, and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to share with you the cards that I made using a paper collection for the collab called Smash That Paper Pad 2021. This is hosted by Deb, who is Deb Houck's Crafty Cottage here on YouTube. So I didn't use a paper pad per se, but I did use a 6x6 paper collection. I've had this for quite a while. This is from Gina K Designs. I mean, how long ago was she making pattern paper? I don't think she's made any for a long time. But anyway, I had this collection in my stash. Originally there were 24 sheets of 6x6 pattern paper, 3 of each pattern. There were a couple of patterns that I didn't use this time. I set them aside because I just was clueless as to how to use the color combination or the pattern itself. But I did get quite a few cards made using the other papers. So let me show you what I made. This first card here is a pattern that I struggled with the most. I mean, I did not know what to do with this. But what I ended up doing is I took a Spellbinder sunflower die, and there were 3 sheets of each pattern, so it's a pretty large die. I used the die on the 3 sheets, and then it also had a die for leaves, and I just used the die itself as a stencil, and I sponged on some garden green ink onto the garden green cardstock. And then this is an embossing folder that I used in the background from Cuttlebug. I don't have any other name for it other than it is a plaid, and so I thought that looked pretty with the sunflower. This is a 5x7 card, and then one of the scraps I just put on the inside. But that one probably caused me the most struggle with how to use it. Another pattern that I kind of struggled with was this pattern right here, this background paper right here. And so I ended up making some cards that were red, black, white, and then that pale yellow background. So for this one, I used some dies. I can't remember who they're from, but I used them as a silhouette die. The Sentiment Friendship is the Sweetest Flower, I believe, is from Divinity Design set, because that is the set that I have the most handy, so I've been using it a lot lately. And then I did die cut one out of red and just put it on the white panel. For these next 3 dies, or cards, excuse me, I used some dies from Spellbinders that made these little layered flowers. And for the inside, I used some flowers from this little Sprinklets set. There's all different kinds in here. Some there's a lot of, and some there were just a few of. So I was able to get a couple cards. Actually, I used 3 different kinds of flowers on each of the 3 cards that I made. But anyway, here's one, and then a scrap of the paper. And then this one is the same die cut flowers, but just the little inside sprinklets are different. And this third one. And then let's see. Here's another card where I used a different flower die as a silhouette. Here's some green twine that I had in my stash, and then I just used I just took a black ink pad and pressed it on a clear block and added some water to it, and then with the water brush I just splattered some black spots on the card. It just needed something, and I didn't know really what I wanted to do yet for a sentiment, so I left that off, and the inside is just blank. And then I have 2 more that are like that, and then I have these two right here. These are dies from Stampin' Up. Oh gosh, those of you that are Stampin' Up demonstrators are going to know that right away. Okay, they are from Stitch So Sweetly dies. And I just used these two and layered them together. The white one is popped up with foam tape, and again I splattered on these. These flowers are from Divinity Designs, their latest Blessings box. And I guess I have them put away, but they were really interesting. It's a whole sheet of like all of these flowers right here, flowers and leaves. And then it came with a die that cuts, and they're arranged like in a little ATC size rectangle on the printed paper. And the die cuts all of the flowers within that little ATC size out at once. And so it was real easy to just die cut these and then have all the parts that I wanted to use. So I just paired the two larger flowers with some of the leaves that die cut. And then for the inside of these, I have a white panel and a scrap of that paper. Then I took one of these larger pieces and cut it in half. So I had a straight layer to use in between these two popped up pieces. And here's where all the dies were from that little ATC size thing. I just cut them all up at once and grouped them together and made a really cute cluster there. And then this card is the same. So I've got those. And I think these were some of the first cards I worked on. So I've got 3 that say Warm Wishes. And this is just some miscellaneous ribbon that I had in my stash. I think it originally came from Gina K Designs card kit, probably to go along with this paper because it seemed to match so well. And then I just used 2 Stampin' Up punches, a plain circle punch and this little, I don't know if it's called Starburst punch or something, but anyway, I've got those. And the insides of these are just a white card to write on. And then I made these 3 birthday versions that say Birthday Wishes. And again, I think it's just a white panel on the inside. And then I went into making some slimline cards. Now these cards that I made here, most of the card designs were inspired by Letty, who is Paper Party. Oh, I can't remember her website. Paper Party, something like that. My apologies, Letty, but you did inspire me with your videos on using up a 6x6 pad. So anyway, I went into slimline cards, and I've got these right here. And again, the insides of these, now where would that circle have come from? Maybe it was from scraps. Oh, I know what I did. Huh. Okay. Oh, duh. Okay. So, excuse me. I forgot what I did. So on this piece of pattern paper, what I did is I punched out a circle. And I don't know if you can see that cardstock showing behind it. But then I used that Stampin' Up Starburst punch and then a plain circle punch and popped the Starburst into that circle where the cardstock shows through. And then I used the paper that was punched out for the inside of the card. So I've got that one and that one, this one. Trying to find all the different combinations here. 2 of these, and I did the same thing on these where the paper's on the inside, and then 2 from this paper pattern. Again, flowers on the inside. And then I have some going vertical, so Hello Sunshine. Here's where I took an old Stampin' Up! Border punch. I think it was called Eyelet, Scallop Eyelet or something like that. And I just did red on red for this one. And this one, and then here yellow on yellow for that one. And then these 3 cards were just using black cardstock as a layer to highlight the pattern paper. So, Hello Sunshine, you brighten my day. But anyway, I've got all of these cards here. I'm not sure how many there are. I want to say, well, I don't want to say because I don't know. But anyway, lots of cards from this, and then I've got 6 patterns of paper, 2 patterns of paper, 3 of each that I haven't used yet. I didn't get rid of it. I just set it aside for another time. But anyway, that was smashing my 6x6 pattern paper collection. I'd like to thank you for joining me. Down below I'll leave a link to all the participants in this collaboration, so please check them out. And now I'm off to create.